Every month, we dive into epic tutorials that break down everything you need to know to make awesome rings with your monthly sub box. We'll cover the tools, the materials, and techniques you need to turn your box into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Whether you're a first-timer or a pro, you're in the right place.
Hey guys, welcome to this month's video. Today we're working on the Blue Moon ring. This one's a really cool one. I'm excited for it. We're going to be sending you everything you need in the Blue Moon kit. As well, you're going to need some PPE. So we have respirator, glasses, and some gloves. Then we have our polishes, glue, and accelerator, and of course our lathe. Let's get into this video. So in this month's box, we have a titanium ring blank, aqua glow powder, a mixing vial, some blue zircon, which is the star of the show, and then some Maui blue pigment. First, we're going to prep our materials. I am taking our zircon and just crushing it up into different size pieces. Giving a variation in size just helps your inlay look a little bit more natural. Next, we're going to create the background color for our ring, and I think this is a very overlooked step for a lot of people because this is where you're able to really curate the exact color and look that your ring will eventually have. I want a pastel blue color for this ring, a very light blue, and so I'm adding just a small amount of our pigment to it. And to test the different colors, a little trick is to take a metal plate and dump the mixture on top of it and saturate it with super thin. And this will show you the exact color that the mixture will create in the end. And this way you're able to test different mixtures, maybe adding a little bit more pigment to get a darker color, or adding black to it to make it darker, or any really variation adding colors to it. This way you're able to test that out and get exactly what you want. Now we're going to begin our inlay by adding a small amount of super thin to our ring and pouring on our mixture. One thing I want to point out here is look at the color change as you saturate the pigment. This is why it's so important to test out the color before you get to this point. Once you have an even coat and you're happy with it, you're ready to saturate it one more time and begin placing in your pieces of zircon. I have these pieces separated out so then I can hand place the larger pieces exactly where I want them to go, and then the smaller pieces I can pour on later to allow me to have more of a random natural look to it. When hand placing, it can be a bit tricky because sometimes they'll fall out, especially with these larger pieces, and so I take the back of my tweezers and really just press them in there. That way they'll stick a little bit better. My thought process while laying these pieces in is really just taking my time and doing what feels right. I know that sounds funny, but at the end of the day, if you do what feels right, it will look right to you in the end, and it will be completely unique to you as well. But if you want me to be a little more specific, I would pick pieces that look a little bit darker and look nicer. There are some pieces of zircon that have like brown spots in them or are very clear, and so just pick out the best pieces that look right to you. And once you have those pieces placed in, go ahead and pour on the smaller pieces to really fill out those gaps and make it look a little bit more natural. And don't worry about not being able to see the color because zircon is partially transparent, and so that backdrop will really bring out the natural color of the stone. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to take the back of my tweezers and press the zircon down into the inlay channel a little bit further. And then you're ready to start adding super thin to create the clear coat layer. And once that's fully cured, we're going to jump cut to our Dremeling stage. And so for those of you that are familiar, you know that titanium is a very soft material, and so you want to be a little bit careful when Dremeling down. And zircon is actually about a 6 or a 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, and so it's going to be a little bit tricky to sand down, so just take your time with this. Use fresh bits as well as you go around and Dremel it. And also, if you want to, use a little bit of water to cool those pieces down so they don't heat up the super thin and fly out. But yeah, once you have that flush, you're able to move on to your sanding steps. You're going to begin with a pre-sand with 220 grit sandpaper. This will smooth out that surface and kind of clean away those impurities created in the Dremeling stage. And if you wet sand, it definitely will look a lot better at the end of the day. But also you want to make sure that you completely dry off that ring before you do any clear coat layers. The additional clear coat layer really just serves to fill out any gaps or holes left over. And so you want to make sure you do that. I do 1 to 2 layers at this step and let that cure. Once that's fully cured, we're able to begin our final sanding steps. I'm using 220 grit to 1200 to create a gloss finish. The cool thing is about titanium is there are so many different finishes you can do. Things like a brush finish to a mirrored finish. But for the summer, I plan on doing bonus videos for you guys to go over different finishes and techniques and cover any questions that you guys have. And so if you do have any additional ideas or questions, please leave those in the comments below in this video, and I'll be looking at past videos as well if you've left those there. In addition to that, if you guys have future ideas for ring designs and subscription boxes, let me know those. I'm always open to really cool new ideas. This one is the blue moon, which is based off of having the blue moon this month. If you don't know what that is, it is a second full moon in the month. And you might have heard the saying, once in a blue moon. It just means, you know, being rare, which is super fitting for this ring because zircon is super rare to be used in ring designs. As well, I love the natural blue color that we rarely have in our rings. So I hope you guys like this one. I certainly did. I think it turned out really beautiful and really nice. Aqua is one of my favorite colors, and so I personally really like it. But yeah, I hope you guys like this one, and I'll see you guys next time.